What's up, guys? My name is Melvin. I'm a local web designer in the Space Coast of Florida, and I'm on the mission on fixing websites because I feel that websites nowadays don't show the value and give the reason for customers to trust their website. And I think there's a lot of businesses that are established and doing very well, but their websites do them a disservice and don't attract the right customers. So today I'm going to be reviewing a website and at random. And if you want me to review your website, be sure to send an email to me or put a comment down below, and I can review your website and do the same thing that I'm doing in this video for you guys. So today we're going to be looking at Vanish auctions. And what I like to do when I'm first looking at a website is to look at it completely from a not knowing what the business is, just going in and trying to learn what the business is and interact with the website just like a client would. Because I think that's the best way to design a website. Whatever friction points or whatever issues you find with the website or whatever questions or anything that's just not clear, I think that that's something that can be improved upon the website. And so I'm looking at this website here, Vanish Auctions, and I'm going to look at it just like how a client would and then create another version of it that I think would improve on this design here. So again, we're at Vanish Auctions. And the first thing I want to say is that I really love this logo and that the name and just the tagline. I think it works really well. Vanish Auctions, here today, sold tomorrow. That's very clever because that's what auctions are. You buy something, then it's gone. So I think it's a really catchy tagline. And I love when people have catchy taglines like that. The logo itself, I think it's a little bit generic, just kind of like two caret symbols going up and down. And I think I've seen stuff like this before. It kind of seems like a stock logo. But I like the idea of up and down because it kind of represents buyer seller transactions. So I think this could be kind of improved on. But the name I love, Vanish Auctions. All right. So once we go into the site, I'm looking here at the hero section. And all right, here today, sold tomorrow. Vanish Auctions has spent 13 years in the restaurant, auction, and liquidation industry. Put our expertise to work for you. Bid now, sell with us. Okay. So it seems like there's two options here: bid now, sell with us. The design overall, I feel like the design is speaking more to like a tech kind of with this pixel divider breakdown here on the sides. I feel like that's more for like I don't know, kind of a tech industry sort of business. I think it could have been improved in that area. Then they go into process, get bidding today, easy as 1, 2, 3. It's easy to start, score a deal, Vanish Auctions. And then just has the steps here. There's like a little hover effect here. Yeah, but it seems like when you click it, nothing happens. So usually with websites, when you have a hover effect, it's hovering because it's indicating an action. And so with this, there's nothing there. I do like that they have the steps because it does make it seem easy. So step 1, you register. Step 2, you bid. And step 3, you win. I love it. Just 3 steps, real super easy to get that. Then there's a section here that says current auctions. Right now, no current auctions. I feel like this right here is a little bit of an eyesore on the site because it just kind of seems like the site is inactive. And if I'm buying something from here, I want to be able to see even if they show like past items or just example items here, I think would be good instead of just having it say no current auctions. Closing a business, have excess equipment, call to book your auction today. I think this is cool. I like this call to action. I'm all about call to actions. And basically call to action is just want them to do the main thing. I think every website should have one primary call to action. It should be sprinkled throughout the website because and it should be like the action that is the most effective for the website. It makes people the biggest money maker basically. And it should be something that, is the biggest action that you want the person to take. Maybe it's not bidding. Maybe it's actually, becoming registered to bid your items. Maybe that's like the primary one. I'm guessing that is. I would assume that's kind of what makes more money is getting people to create auctions on your site, because without auctions, there's nothing to bid on. So I would say that's the primary action for the site. Then he has social proof here, it seems. So Google reviews, I think that's a great idea. And then latest news. So it says here, coming back, please check back. So again, the same thing with this area where it says no current auctions. You don't really want to see empty stuff like this because it just seems like the website's not real, or it takes away legitimacy and trust when you see things that are not filled. And so I would say either if you're not going to keep up with it, just take it off completely. And same thing with this, just take it away completely, or just use examples of items sold in the past so people can see what they've bought. If it's a refrigerator or if it's a microwave or an oven, they can see wow, look at the great deal that they got. So it kind of helps with, getting trust and seeing the great deals that they offer. Then you're at the bottom, we have a footer with phone number, an address, social icons. And then it says here, sign up to receive exclusive info on upcoming auctions, enter your email. I think this is great. This is another touch point to get people, involved in easy marketing. I think it's an easy way to remarket to people who've showed interest in the past is by having an email opt-in here. The only thing though is that this kind of is a little bit vague. So it says sign up to receive exclusive info on upcoming auctions. Instead of doing that, I would say, sign up to receive access to early auctions that are coming up. So you're not really like exclusive info. That's very like elusive and vague. I think that's not going to really entice people to sign up. I think if you just told them straight up like what they would get, it would be you get more people to sign up here if that's something that he really cares about, growing the email list, which I think is really important. So just say instead of exclusive info, I would say access to early auctions or auctions that are coming up. All right, but overall, I think there's some good stuff here. I think it's a really good business. And again, I think the website is just not doing it justice. Like I mentioned, the design here seems like it's a little bit more techy with these like little pixel edges here and even the color too. But I like the color. I think the colors are fine. But the color is something that kind of usually you see this color blue with the tech industry. So let's switch on over to like what I designed here. And this is just what we like. A real quick mock-up, not even a mock-up, but it's just an idea of what I would include in these sections and the reasons why. And so the first thing here in the hero section, which I have a screenshot of the top here, what I would include is answer these questions in this hero section. So what they do, who they do it for, and why does it matter? And then what's the next step they want the person to take? So this is what I propose. So I would have restaurant equipment auctions where both sides win. I think that says exactly what it is. And it's also a little bit catchy and shows a little bit of personality. Then we have a sub headline here that says it even more clear as day. We run online auctions for restaurant and commercial equipment. That doesn't get more plain than that. Sellers turn it into cash without the hassle. Buyers bid from anywhere and score deals. So again, it shows why it matters. So it says who it's for: restaurant equipment. So it's for restaurants and commercial equipment. And then even for sellers and for buyers, right? So it's good for the buyer side. It's good for the seller side. And it actually talks about why it matters. Score deals, turn cash without hassle. And then you have the primary call to action that's like darker. So it says book your auction, which is very clear. You click the button, you're going to book your auction. And the secondary call to action, which is browse current auctions, which I did this outline version instead of it so that your eye automatically gravitates to this, because this is the main primary. Like I mentioned, booking auctions, you can't bid on anything if there's no auctions. And it seems like on the site, it says here, where was it? Yeah, current auctions. There's nothing, no current auctions. And so that's something that by making that your primary action, your call to action, that's going to help fix that issue. So you can get more people to do that instead, because again, nobody can bid on anything if there's no auction. So you want to get people to bid. I mean, not bid, but create auctions to bid to sign up. So that's what the hero section, what I would propose for that. Then secondly, I was thinking, about who is who you're talking to. You're talking to two types of people that are visiting this website, is the seller and then the buyer. And so first, let's start with the seller, because again, that's the most important person that would visit this website. Somebody wants to get rid of their stuff. They're liquidating their equipment. Their business failed, or maybe they're moving or whatever it is, and they want to get rid of their stuff. So I would say they're like the number one audience for this website. And so what I propose is relating to them by speaking to their problem, but then offering a solution. And who's the solution? Vanish. Auctions is a solution to that. So this section here, that's exactly what we're proposing here. So got equipment sitting idle, put it to work. Equipment sitting idle loses value every day. Listing each piece yourself each time you don't have. Lowball offers and no-shows waste your week. Pickups and haggling drag it out for weeks. You're not even sure what it's all worth. So that's the problem. So here we're showing empathy, and we're showing that we understand that the person who's visiting the website, like in their shoes. Then you're offering the solution, what we do, right? We value it all, so you know what it's worth. We photograph, list, and market it to buyers nationwide. We run the whole auction, no haggling, no chasing. We coordinate pickup. Once it closes, you walk away with cash and zero hassle. Book your auction. So again, we have the call to action repeated here, right? And I think this does a great job of saying what the problem is, and then presenting Vanish solutions, or Vanish auctions, as the solution to their problems. Then here is, they kind of had this already on their website, but the seller process. So on the seller side specifically, what does that process look like? So again, I think doing it in 3 steps is really good. I don't really want to make it into 4 or 5 because then it becomes a little bit too much. So trying our best to kind of condense it and shorten it, I think is a good approach to this. So step 1, tell us what you have, get a quick no pressure equipment appraisal. And I think this is really good to the wording of this is because you want to make it effortless. You want to make it really, truly no hassle. So just tell us what you have, get a quick no pressure, no pressure equipment appraisal. So again, you're kind of like minimizing the friction of what it takes to become a seller. Then step 2, we run the auction, we market your gear to active buyers nationwide. And then step 3, you get paid, we close the sale, send your cash, and arrange pickup. Seems pretty simple. And that's the whole point of this area, is to really speak to the seller and all their pain points. So by the time they get to this, they're pretty much ready to sign up. All right, so down number 2, now we're talking to the buyer, which is the second persona that's going to be visiting the site and speaking and relating to their problem, but then also presenting Vanish Auctions as a solution. And so same thing, same formula. So quality equipment costs a fortune new. It doesn't have to. New equipment drains your budget fast. Used listings are scattered across dozens of sites. You can't judge the real condition before buying. The good stuff is gone or too far away. You know, so we're speaking directly to that problem, I would say here. And then the solution, what we do, quality restaurant and commercial gear all in one place, bid from anywhere, no traveling required, see exactly what you're getting before you bid, win solid equipment for a fraction of retail, fresh auctions closing regularly, browse current auctions, right? And then again, we're going to do the same formula here for the buyer. So we're going to show the process. So step 1, register to bid, make your free account in just a couple of minutes. Again, making it very low barrier to entry. And then step 2, browse and bid, find the gear you need, and then place the bid online now. Step 3, win and pick up, top the final bid, pay and collect your equipment. So again, super condensed, super simple, and just making it super easy to get into bidding. Then this is what I proposed in this area is going to be items sold example. So instead of having no current auctions, what he could do is have examples of past items show. And I would purposely choose items that were like really good deals. So for example, if somebody got a commercial oven, for example, those things are super expensive. We know that. Let's say that it had an image of it, the brand, the price, and yeah, just having it there. And let's say, for example, it was like, I don't know, $50,000, let's just say, and they got it for, I don't know, let's say $10,000. That's a great deal. And again, it's going to entice me to be a bidder and be a seller. Actually, both sides, more of the buyer because that's a great deal. But I think also as a seller, because like now that's money in your pocket as a seller, right? Instead of it sitting there and getting nothing. And then again, just putting other stuff, put a deep chest freezer, putting, a microwave, putting, whatever it is, like a bunch of utensils, like a utensil bundle, and putting this deals that people want to see most likely. And also the great deals that they got. So that would be that. And the next part would be just social proof, which you had already. But we're doing it a little bit of a different way. So right here is a good section to put why owners trust Vanish. And I put a little social proof paragraph here, which also doubles as like an about me sort of. So closing or downsizing a business is stressful enough. For 13 years, Dale and the Vanish team have made the equipment side simple, walking owners through every step and getting them paid. We started in the restaurant liquidation. We're based right here in Palm Bay, and we sell to buyers across the country. And in here, just quick little bullet points, 13 years in auction business, buyers nationwide, not just local, rated 5 stars on Google and Facebook, voted best in Florida in 2025. And so one thing I really want to point about when it comes to websites, I've seen this so many times where people have like huge walls of text and nobody's going to read that text. Nobody's going to read it. And so I think that when you make the text like short and even bullet points whenever possible, it makes it a lot easier to scan. And even if you choose like the right wording for the headlines, it leads people into reading the text right under it. And so I think that's very important that people like a lot of times ignore. And in here, I was thinking having an image of the person who owns the business, maybe the owner and the team, just to build a little bit of face-to-face, because people buy, stuff from real people. And so a lot of times we see websites where it's just like stock imagery. And I think whenever you can put an image of the real person doing real work or just being with the team or, working with a customer, I think this would be a great opportunity here. Then here we have, again, testimonials. So it is bundled with this social proof section up here / about section. And so here I just grabbed one of his Google reviews and just put it here. So I'll put in this little circle would be a headshot of an actual customer, and then their actual review here. And instead of having customer, I would say like their name, for example. And maybe I'd even put like what they bought or what they won. And then it would just cycle through to different reviews. And I think having it at this size and having one at a time helps people just focus on the review instead of having, like I've seen where people have like 4 or 5 or 10 and just going really fast. I'd make each one of these reviews just one where people can read it, and it's on the screen for maybe like 3 to 5 seconds. People can actually read through. And I think that was one of the issues that I saw on this website when I first landed. This was like sliding way too fast, this slideshow here. And I'm actually not even a big fan of having slideshows or sliders because I don't know, I feel like if you have one message, it should be captured in just a hero section at a glance, like I did in my design. Nobody's actually going to go here and interact with the sliders and go through every single one. They're going to look at it. So they're going to speak to them and they're going to keep on going, or it's not going to speak to them and they're going to leave and go to your competitor. That's the way I look at it. Then at the bottom here, we have the final CTA. So again, we wrap up this entire journey that we went through, from buyer to seller to social proof to testimonials to at the end, it's like ready to make a move. Sell your equipment without a hassle or score the next deal at auction. We make both easy. Book your auction, browse current auction. And then here we also have a number for some people that prefer to call and talk. Maybe they have a specific situations or questions. Not sure where to start? Give us a call at 321-802-3049. So again, we just wrap it up with an easy call to action, make it super pain-free, frustration-free, and there's low decision fatigue here. So that's how I would propose this website to be. And again, I help established businesses show their value, build trust with people who are viewing their websites. And I think that a lot of websites nowadays are struggling with that. I think that a lot of times when people do it themselves or they hire the wrong people, which I'm not saying they hired the wrong people for this, but I think it could definitely be improved in terms of helping people understand what they do, who to do it for, and why it even matters, and what the next step is. A lot of time people want to buy, but they're digging through a bunch of different pages and they don't know what to do next, and you lose that customer. So I think a website has to be something that's very easy and clear, and people need to understand what you do and why you do it. So again, if this is something that you want me to do for your website, I pick websites at random, but if I have people that want me to review your website, I'm more than happy to review your website. Be sure to put it in the comment down below and I'll look at your website and review it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this show. And if you want to book a free strategy session with me, feel free to visit my website or look in the comment section down below. And you'll see a link where you can click to register a free strategy session with me, where I basically can look at your website, look at your marketing, and see how I can help you. All right. Thanks so much and have a great day.